Hello and welcome back to Roll the Bones. My name is Rob and I'm joined by my epic players, Mike, Matt and Dom. They're not epic in level. I will ask them the immortal question. I have to say that, otherwise you'll get ahead of yourselves.
You said it, canon.
Well, speaking of canon, what happened previously on Knights of the Apocalypse, Omen War.
Big fight!
Big fight.
Yeah, we made a slight error in judgment. Define the whole thing as.
If I remember, Maxim had Delver on like an altar or a table, and went over to make a kind of like a scrying communication, send a message or something through a magic stone on his arm or something. And there was a sort of knowing look between all three of us, like, as Fleece then leapt in for a surprise round.
I think Fleece thought he was about to issue.
Well, he did. He said, Chapter General Maxim calling the Vanquisher, and then that's when you acted, yes.
Yeah, I think Fleece had it in his mind that the dragon would be coming back, that we wanted to take care of him really quickly, and that would have been the time, because he thought he was issuing another attack.
Yeah.
Bombardment.
Yes, bombardment.
So he leapt in and gloriously missed. And
He was going to hack off his arm, wasn't he? That was the idea.
yeah, he was going to hack off his arm. It went really badly, and then but it was all downhill from there.
Yes, as bad as that was, that was nothing.
That was nothing compared to what happened next.
I had a lovely summary here. Started with breath weapon, basically, from Maxim, which did a fair chunk of damage to all of us, but entangled us.
An
so we were unable to
entangling
move.
exhalation from the dragon magic tomes, yes.
And just as we were struggling to break out, I think Galaric was very lucky, the only one who managed to break out at that point. He then did another one and slowed us all.
He did it again. He did it again.
Not only was everyone just kind of still suffering with entanglement, now most of us were slowed. I think Galaric dodged the slow.
Slow and entangled now, yes.
Fleece, however, took
both.
Yes. Then the dragon appeared, and I think it was the dragon.
No. Before the dragon appeared, we were listing all of our thingies. It was slow. Then there was
shaken.
There was entangled, then slowed, and then panicked.
That was it.
Panicked by the
spell that
frightful.
Panicked.
I think there was the roar. Yeah, he gave a roar.
It was a roar that he did. So it was a spell that panicked Fleece. That then the panic wore off, and he was shaken. I think
Shaken afterwards.
And then just as that wore off, that was when the dragon showed up. So that was, and then
Just in time.
That was when the dragon showed up. Yeah.
Chlorocar the Corrosive opened his dreadful drawers and out spewed a terrible cone of corrosive acid gas. That's
Before
right.
his fear effect then increased the shaken
And
again.
the fear effect.
That's 5 effects.
Yeah.
Fleece forgot at that point who he even was.
I must say,
We forgot to face this rather.
I think Pop, you went more on the defensive and did less offensive spells throughout, didn't you?
Generally, yeah, because I think he tried a couple of high-level spells, and they just sort of bounced off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went into more of a defensive or trying to...
Just survive.
Yeah, basically just survive.
Yeah. Galaric tried to hold the line, but yeah.
Galaric it was a noble effort from Galaric, pretty much face to face alone there in combat.
Well, Galaric showed he could bleed. He got a few hits in, to be fair. It's not like you were constantly missing. You hit him a good amount of times, particularly with that smite attack that you've taken to using, and that got him, I recall.
Yes.
But yeah, the battle raged, but Fleece obviously got taken down.
Fleece did get taken down. We had an issue. We thought that maybe he was dead, but due to rage, we're not going to cover it again, but due to rage,
And the
basically,
vagueness
extra
of the
health,
wording.
the vagueness of the wording, because of the extra health that came from rage, he was able to be I don't want to say revived because he didn't die because of the roll, but
he was knocked out,
healed enough that he could just about cling on. And actually, I think he did get a single palpable, not really as palpable as it could have been, but a good hit in.
That's
I
right.
was very pleased about.
He rose up and struck the dragon. That's correct.
Yeah, we all had to absolutely leg it. But actually, the reason that we got the chance to leg it, I'll hand this over to Pop because it's beautiful.
It was amazing.
It's absolutely amazing. And I think I was a little too wrapped up in my own stuff to fully appreciate it last time.
Don't blame you, but
having watched it back since, I'm a bit like, dude, that was badass. That was wicked.
So, Pop had a round where he cast Silence on the Dragonborn, but unfortunately he had a horrible thing called Spell Eating, which it just numbed up the silence. So Pop had to spend another turn casting Silence, this time on Galaric, to still encompass him.
Eat the Silence, band name.
Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna write that down. Yep.
Could be a album name, I reckon. So.
Yeah.
Because the turn before, Pop had realised that the dragon was incoming, and the original plan was to create an illusion to make it look like there was no fight happening, and to have the dragon fly off somewhere else. But because he had to cast Silence twice, he couldn't do that. So what he did instead was when Maxim got on the dragon's back, he cast Ghost Sounds and made it sound like Maxim was somewhere in the room being obscured, and he said, that's not me on your back or something, that's an imposter.
An imposter,
and the
yes.
dragon bucked him off into the sea.
Yes, and it was
truly creative use of that.
It was wonderfully creative use of the spell. Also, strangely, obviously it wasn't planned that way, but strangely foreshadowed. The only thing that really seemed to bother the dragon were the illusions, because of course an illusion was the thing that sent him off to investigate originally. So the fact that he had to interact with it to mechanically to know that it was a problem as well was in itself a deft thing. It just happened that he then fell out of the tower as well, which was added extra dramatic layer to it. But yes, you were able to escape. Fleece still had the fly effect upon his person and scooping up the fallen, or rather the unconscious Delver and his comrades. You then managed to scoot from the tower of Tide Watch.
Yes.
And even then the dragon and Maxim were already out on top of the tower and searching for you. But you had managed to retreat. The words of Avarious echoing in your mind for while they're effectively, when they hold evil in their hearts, it is difficult for them to see good in the world, and that was effectively the thing that
we sought refuge.
Made you think, oh, perhaps we can hide, and you hid with Avarious.
Well, we knew that we weren't going to be able to outrun the dragons incredibly fast, and we thought there was nowhere else in the sort of facility, the compound we were in, the buildings, that we would be able to hide for very long. So yeah, we got out of Dodge and went into that sort of zone of hiding from evil or whatever it might be. All of us, well, I mean, Fleece was very nearly dead still, hanging in the air like, trying to fly everyone to safety.
Did have to take some emergency potions, didn't he?
Definitely. Well, he took all of his potions, he's got no potions left. But I have to say, I was trying to think of the right analogy for this. The whole fight felt like there's probably something else that you guys can think of. I'm trying to think of, like, when you fight the unbeatable and you have to just escape it. But I'm like fighting an agent in the Matrix. You know, when all you can really think of to do is knock it out of a window and run. That's the only chance you stand because it's desperate. Right.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Well,
that reminded me a bit of the big baddie of a cartoon series like Dragon Ball Z or something. First time you come across Freezer and just get their asses handed to them.
And when you escape, he'd be like, "I'll get you next time." Yeah. Which he certainly hopes to. I was actually thinking today, whilst doing some preparation for this game, thinking about it from Maxim's perspective. He doesn't know who you are. For you guys, it's been long foreshadowed that that's Chapter General Maxim, this terrifying figure who is a servant of Arithan and all that. To him, you're some psychos that appeared in his tower one day from invisibility and tried to kill him. And I was like, that's...
Oh, yeah.
There's been no reports to him about you at all, that you have been fully successful.
A small footprint.
Exactly.
We're
you were told.
Unknowns,
you were told to keep your presence a secret by the sage. And speaking of the sage, when Delver had awoken, you were able to introduce yourself to this person you've long been looking for. Do you remember anything that Delver spoke to you about? He spoke about the sage. Do you remember anything else?
Sage Incando.
Yeah.
I remember his name now, that we apparently found out before, but none of us were,
well, you didn't find out. I just snuck it into a sentence in the first session, which I've now tagged in the comments of the first session video. So if you want to go back where the mysterious sage felt the name to give you his name in secret, why would that be? Who knows? But yes, Incando is the sage that has sent you on this errand. Do you remember anything else?
That's a tidbit that we found out. We found out a lot more.
Yeah.
Obviously, the most important thing is we found out the location of the Horizon Lens from Delver when
Correct.
he awoke, and we not really healed him because we used all the potions on me, so I was nearly dead. Screw him. But he told us where it was, trusted us because we'd rescued him, and fought sort of. Galaric fought Maxim, and Avarious asked us to point it at the place where we are now.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm not sure if that means he wants us to aim it with the weapon that's on the ship or something, or destroy this using it in some way, or we were sort of unclear as to what that meant, right?
Well, you raised a good point that Delver has made clear to you that the Dominion are looking for this weapon to, you're absolutely right, couple the power of the Horizon Lens, because not only can you use it to see any place in the world, you can also see beyond worlds. And what you can see, you can target with magical capability, which is a terrifying prospect.
Which, surely the weapon on the ship was an enlarged and whatever fireball of sorts, wasn't it? So you could probably use that.
Exactly.
Essentially meaning that they can, orbital strike
anything
in the world, which is terrifying. So
exactly. So you're becoming this a super powerful magical targeting system that can strike anywhere in the world, or perhaps beyond it.
Perhaps fear will keep...
Pretty badass.
It
stinks of Lex Luthor, I've got to say.
Well, the Dominion do appear to be pushing further and further down the line of manipulating the powers of the world, ancient and new, to their own designs. Yes, you were told where it was. You were told that it was at an observatory, which is located on the map to the very north of the Rush Front area. It is actually built into the high falls that mark the end of the Wrokken, the southern end of the Wrokken, the great mountain range that divides Main Realm.
Yeah. Is that the tail then?
It's no. Oh, sorry. It is not technically, is it? It's a southern part of the end of the Wrokken. We'll say that it's not the very end. Yeah. Sorry. Yes.
Yes.
Delver
the arsehole of the dragon.
The bumhole. Yeah. The bottom.
I'd say technically it's the neck. It's the neck currently. Oh, okay. Yeah. Because the rest of it comes around because the worm's teeth in Ireland mark the very end of the Wrokken. That's right. Yeah.
Yes, Delver said that Maxim, sorry, my brain isn't working. Maxim thinks he knows where it is because Delver did tell him a location, but he says it he told him a false location.
That's right.
He's a good liar.
He told him that he told Maxim that the location was at a place called the Scale, which he alluded to being the place of the resting place of a fallen dragon, and his draconic bias he felt might be something that would lead him to believe that. And it seems that he did. You don't know. You don't know whether that was successful. But the last thing that we witnessed of that session was the emergence of something else that alluded to his draconic. Or rather, draconic heritage in general, is that there was a big dragon skull that came out of the mist. And for the first time ever, you saw the Vanquisher.
Vanquisher!
But it wasn't just a ship. Or at least
Terrifying.
it wasn't just a boat. Adapted to take flight.
And that it did, and that is something that hasn't really appeared in our setting. Is the idea of flying ships can be a staple of a lot of D&D campaigns, but
I had a flying ship in my game.
that's true. Actually, yeah, we have had a few flying
Very
ships.
briefly. It wasn't really. It was part of a very small part of a bigger story that was a bit part, but it was in there.
We have some flying things. Okay, I'll amend that. But it's not common then, shall we say, that this is so it's a pretty staggering effort from the part of the Dominion.
Certainly not of this size. It was
Yes.
insanely.
It's very
this is
big.
more of a flying white liner.
Yeah, it's huge. And there is something I need to clear up as well, because in the session you were surprised because you said, General Maxim is going to use the Vanquisher, or whatever, and you were corrected by Avarious saying that Maxim isn't in command of that, and that is actually my fault, because in the first ever session I said that he was. So that was, we'll just say, chopped up to false reports during the war. Though it is clear that Maxim would be very interested in the power of such a vessel, so you're not quite sure who's in command of that vessel at the moment.
Especially because it's got a dragon skull on it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're of the inkling then that he is at least aligned with it.
Aligned, definitely. You remember that the Call of Arithnal, led by Maxim, have been installed in the rush front to replace the forces of the Dominion that are withdrawing. And then the last thing that we saw last session was the Vanquisher rising into the horizon. That all said, before we continue, Avarious did state that he was going to give you healing, and as we have also all gained in power and experience, it is time for you to receive that healing and some, because of course we roll, when your characters level up, your HP on the recordings. And I think because of the great battering that befell you all, particularly Fleece, I think, Fleece, you should go first. Please roll your hit die, ignoring 1s and 2s.
Sorry. Are we going back to full health at the end?
Yes, full health, yeah.
That actually just makes the maths a bit easier for me. Okay. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm not superstitious. Well, that doesn't count.
Thankfully not.
Thankfully not. I'll take that.
Nice. Yep, very good.
I actually think I got exactly that last time.
Excellent. Galaric, if you'd like to go next.
Typing on the wrong page. There we go.
You just type that into your spreadsheet.
Yes, I did. Actually, no, on the Google Doc. Bosh. That's a reroll. That's another reroll.
Come on, Michael.
Next time
Get
you're
it
keeping
3 times.
Yeah.
That's even lower.
Come on, you need this health, mate.
Oh,
Yeah.
lowest
Lowest option available. Dear me. And Pop, if you'd like to go next.
Shorty got low.
I got the same as you.
Oh, yeah. So, there we are.
Oh, well, I mean, things are balancing out. Maybe Fleece is going to take his rightful place. That's the most hit points. Probably not. Guys, I'm just trying to remember when your con modifier goes up by 1, you just add your level, right?
Level, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. I'm just trying to figure out my rage, and I had in fact. No, I had it right last time. No, I had it right last time, but I just did it and it was wrong this time. Continue, I apologise.
The night has been a fretful one. You have effectively been in a secure shelter, obscured, obfuscated by Avarious' mysterious power. And you have been able to recover. And despite the harrowing nature of the events that led to your withdrawal, you all do feel the stronger for it. Despite everything, the three of you were able to confront Chapter General Maxim, retrieve Delver alive, learn the location of the Horizon Lens, and do so without being slain.
You only learn from failure.
That night, however, like I say, it is a daunting time, for while you are hidden, the view beyond is not hidden from you. And for a long time, you see that Chlorikar, you believe still with Maxim on his back, does great patrolling circles in a clear attempt to find his attackers. For, as we say to Chapter General Maxim, some mysterious assassins leapt from nowhere to try and take him out. So, of course, that cannot be tolerated. You also hear the movements of the orcs that remain within Tidewatch. They appear to hold position where they have always held position, in a defensive location here, so they can, guard where they are, but also not too close to the tower, so that they don't tempt the appetite of the dragon. Avarious appears to resume the position he was in when you first met him. He sits with his legs crossed, and he stares at the sea beyond that curls with mist throughout the ruins of Uthriel, the long fallen elven city. And Delver goes quiet as he too gets much needed rest. However, as your rests come to an end, Avarious will say, "You have had sanctuary here, but you cannot remain here forever. You have work to do, it seems. If you would take counsel from me, then I would urge you to do so now, for you may not return here for some time, and my vigil remains here."
Avarious, I don't suppose you have any provisions that we could compensate you for. I think my ally Fleece here is a little ill-equipped, having to have quite a few potions himself. And I don't think there's any general provisions around here that we could make use of.
I am glad that you ask. It was something that I was going to bestow upon you after our council, but as you are so politely, Sir Knight, producing from his belongings, Avarious provides you each with 2 Cure Moderate Wounds potions. So you're back to full, and you each have 2 Cure Moderate Wounds potions each.
Let's do this!
Of course, this is only a small fraction of the remaining resources that could be found within Tidewatch. If nothing else, perhaps its treasure may be worth you returning someday.
Mm-hmm. The treasure did look very pretty.
Someday.
Yes, it would be folly to return within within Tidewatch. But there are still enemy forces here too. But perhaps they can be left for another day too.
I think perhaps we need to go away and practice.
We need to head north. And I must get my steed. I know he's lingering around there somewhere.
I have seen the horse that you speak of feasting upon carrion.
Ah, excellent. Good to know that he's looking after himself and getting fit.
Yes. And the usually serene, not give anything away, calm face of Avarious, it sort of twitches in a slight hue of disgust.
I am working on it.
He's fine. He needs his protein.
We'll just get protein from elsewhere, Galeric.
Meat is fine, just like us.
As with all of the aid that I have given to you, I would do so for you appear to have your hearts in the right place. However, I will remind you that I do not hide my wish for you to use the horizon lens to gaze upon this place if you ever come upon that enchanted item. I urge you to do so.
Well, I think it is probably the least we can do.
I thank you.
I believe we have agreed. You do seem very keen for us to discover what lurks within. Where specifically should we turn?
Why? To the ruins of Uthriel. Look beyond the mists that shroud it. Look beyond the heaving depths of the sea, and you will learn the truth. The truth that I cannot speak.
Yes, I was going to say, you don't just want to tell us, do you, Jones?
If I could, I would, my dear friend.
Sworn to secrecy.
He nods.
Always a tough one, I suppose.
Delver is awake too, and he has also found provision, and he has armed himself with a long sword that he's found upon the battlements, just a rusted thing.
Do you intend to come with us still? To continue battling within the city itself?
I have some loose ends that I must attend to in South Point, and I fear I am in no condition to join you. I am compromised.
Yes, I was thinking that if General Maxim was to engage some sort of mage, he might find it easier to find you than us, being as he's aware of your, well, he's only sort of seen us. He's had intimate interaction with you. Not that sort of.
And he had help. There were other powers at work during my captivity that I could tell were trying to sway and influence my mind.
What sort of other?
I can scarcely describe it for the nausea that it brings to me, even thinking of it. But it felt like something or someone was probing my mind. And as an agent of the Court of Whispers, secrecy is everything to my way of life, to the oaths that I swore to brother and to crown. It is who I am. And though I am not glad that I am not able to avenge myself upon the half-dragon, I am confident that you will be able to do so on my behalf.
Well.
One day. We hope so.
It will not take Maxim long to understand that the scale is not the place that the lens resides. Indeed, it is but a graveyard of fossilized rock.
Indeed. And I suspect that he can probably travel quite a bit faster than we can.
Have you seen aught of him? I am afraid that I have lost sight of him some hours ago. You guys can each give me a spot check to determine your knowledge of Maxim's location.
No.
Reroll, Matt. That's a D10. In Dungeons and Dragons, Matthew, it's actually a D20 system where you.
I mean,
18.
I think we should just. Yeah, I know. I mean, 12 still. So.
Pop. That's excellent. You noted that Maxim circled the others. You would have seen him do this for a while, as I described earlier. You would have seen him circling. You would have seen him hungrily searching for his attackers before eventually following the same trajectory. You would have lost sight of him, guys. But Pop, you would have seen that the dragon actually followed like a low flying path using some of the structures of South Point to mask his trajectory, which was actually to start following the Vanquisher.
Pop will relay this to the others. Maxim appears to be, asking his direction, following the same path as the great ship, the Vanquisher.
Then we don't have a moment to lose. We need to get out of here rapidly.
We have to reach our destination before he reaches his destination, realizes it's wrong, and then heads to our destination.
I don't know how much time that will buy us.
He will not know
Hopefully,
exactly where he is going after he realizes it is wrong. He will just know it is wrong.
And hopefully he won't realize it's wrong for some time. Delver's name may make him think he needs to dig.
Maybe.
But all the more reason to stay hidden on our approach. If any of them spot us, then perhaps, if he's smart enough, he may think to follow us.
So it is around a 4-day journey, yes?
That's right. And it would be good for you to, and this is Delver, it would be good for you to press your advantage that Maxim does not know who you are. He perhaps may suspect you to be some assassins hired to destroy him. Perhaps if he is unaware of your purpose, you can use that to your advantage. In what way, I'm not sure.
Perhaps we can convince him that we are Dominion assassins, and that once he passed on the location of the lens, that they tried to kill him to make some sort of play for power and territory.
An ambitious plight, but one that could perhaps be successful. What I must also impart to you is that while Maxim is not in command of the Vanquisher, its power calls to him, as it would call to any in his position. The immensity of that vessel and the destruction it wields cannot be ignored by one that wishes to serve the Lord of Slaughter.
Do you know who is in command of the Great Federation?
As I understand it, the man's name is Sudric.
Sudric? Is he a admiral, a general?
An admiral, yes, Admiral Sudric of the Dominion. I'll put that in the
I
chat.
don't have a pen. Why don't I have a pen?
Sudric.
As I understand it, Sudric was compelled to use the Vanquisher's weapon in the field against his own men, and this was seen as an offering to seal the deal between the Dominion and the Call of Erythnol. Is there anything that you would ask of me? For I feel that once I have found those that have served with me, I will return to the lines of the Reclamation. Is there any word that you would give to me to pass on to... And he shrugs, anyone. For you go into grave danger.
I would worry that anything we were to pass along would be intercepted by those who betrayed you. For that was your concern, was it? Some party had betrayed you to Maxim.
It would have been difficult to know my position, yes. I do suspect betrayal. I had not thought that my danger would also be yours, but you are right. Perhaps it is better that I do not carry any other message.
Perhaps you could tell them that you've sent forces to the scale to double down on your deceit.
Yes. A good ruse. Should you ever wish to find work, the Court of Whispers would be a sound fit for you.
Very interesting.
Get you out of the classroom, eh, Pop? Yes.
I don't spend all my time in the classroom. Sometimes I do dinner parties.
Make sure to invite me to the next one.
You'll have a standing invitation, my friend. You and Fleece both.
Glory.
I will warn you of one last thing before I depart.
Yes, please.
If you were to look at the map, to plan your route to the north, and we bring up the map here, the fastest route, of course, will be to press northwest. You could remain close to the river and skim the outskirts of the Rot route, but it is a path I would urge you enact great caution if you were to tread. Great caution. Do you remember what the sage told you about the Rot route?
Not off the top of my head, I can't remember what he said.
So the sage warned you that Feyreld it gets its name from the fact that it is the land of the Fey, and the Rot route, it is said, was the heart of a Fey-like power that has long become corrupt due to the cataclysmic war that has wreaked havoc across nature. So that it is a dark place filled with the powers of very, very angry, powerful Fey creatures, and should not be underestimated in any way.
I suppose if we were to avoid the Rod route and cross over the river, we'd be adding time.
We would definitely be adding time.
The rot route not only is filled with enemies, but its terrain is treacherous. There are many gulches and sinkholes and gullies to be wary of.
What would you advise then?
I have seen you stand face to face with Chapter General Maxim and his dragon Chlorocar. If you were to do that and survive, it is indeed a feat that I have never seen matched. However, those are enemies that you could see. If the stories are anything to go by, you will hear voices calling to you, calling you into the depths of the woods. You might not be able to fight the threats that face you there.
Perhaps we could get a boat.
I was thinking we had the raft that we crossed the river on and left.
Mm-hmm.
It may not still be there, but it might. We would have pulled it up on shore.
Yeah, we wouldn't have left it in the water, would we?
Pulled it up on shore.
We can assume that you would have had the awareness to not only take the raft out, but perhaps obscure the raft to make sure that perhaps some enemy force not use it. So yes, you could probably go and look
we'd
for your
obviously
raft.
be going upstream.
Well,
Which would be hard work.
Lads, you should.
Be very hard work to raft upstream. But you are very strong, I do not doubt, says Delver, looking at you, Fleece. If anyone could row up a rushing river, it would be you, I'm sure.
What's the best thing to do?
I would urge speed.
I say if we go straight north through Spellgrave and then across through Rot Route, we go past everything hardcore, and then when we finish, we'll be a really high level. So come back and fight the dragon.
We will have in the same direction as the dragon in that case, though.
Okay. How about we retrace our steps, and should we find we're able to cross back over, that's an option. But
yeah, well, I think if we were to head to the, I don't know whether actually heading to the raft is a good idea. I don't think rafting upstream is. But if we were to head from Southport to the Temple Ruin again, we know that route, right? So that's a nice, safe, and easy route for us to take. We know where shelter is along the way. Then we can sort of head northwest towards the river, so we sort of skirt the edge by this rock here, and then carry on up past Rot Route and essentially just skirt the edge of it on the river, which he said is very dangerous, but it's not straight through the center of. At least the enemies are going to be on sort of one side of us there, and we've got the river at our backs.
Yes, and we're also less likely to get lost.
Yeah.
I don't know about either of you, but
and this way as well, we've got the Temple Ruin. We can get, if we collide with anything along this way, we can get a night of rest there because we know that we set that up.
You did. You did indeed.
we could go the long way, go via the Valley of Opportunity. That looks lovely.
Yeah. Let's go right across and up and then across again.
It might be slow, but
Why don't we go to the Path of Frost?
Yeah, let's
go north and down.
Round.
Temple Ruin, boys. Temple Ruin. I think that's fine, but the first thing we need to do is leave South Point.
We need to find air guys, then we can leave.
With that said, then, Avarious will stand and bow as you leave, and he will say, "Remember, Remember, look upon this place. The moment.
Yes, we know. You've been very kind, and we'll make sure one of us at least looks on this place.
Remember.
He seems satisfied with it, but he's still, obviously, as I described last time, and doubled down on here, it seems, he is very adamant that you do this. But he will...
We'll even come and tell you afterwards, so that you know that we've looked at it.
He'll smile. Delver will say,
Maybe it won't be there.
I owe each of you more than any word I have to express. And if I had anything to reward you with, you would have to but say it, and it would be yours. So instead, I can only owe you my life. I owe you my service. And if there's anything that I, as a member of the Court of Whispers, can offer to you, is a fraction of how I could begin repaying you. But now I must revert to my old ways and take to the shadows once again.
Before you go, if we were to find one of the Court of Whispers, if we wanted to find one of the Court of Whispers, rather, how would we go about doing it in a particular place? Is there a sign we can leave somewhere, or a secret drop point, or perhaps something equally...
He'll smile and say, there are one or two things that I had stashed nearby that I've been able to reclaim. And he'll produce what looks like a bottle of black wax, the kind that you would heat and then stamp with a seal that once you've written a message on parchment. If you are to mark a message that you would send to the Court of Whispers, seal that message with this wax. It is magical in nature and will ensure that any message read can only be done by the intended recipient. If you would address this to me, the rook you send will find me.
That is very cool.
Of course, depending on where I am, may depend on how long that will take, but if the rook flies true, then I shall know the words you send. Finally, I will tell you that upon my retreat, I will be letting the reclamation forces know that you move north. You have been charged to find the location of the Horizon Lens and recover it if you can, but the balance of this war should not just be held upon your soldiers, on your shoulders. The reclamation must fight the Dominion for control of this power as well. They will not sit idly by. If I can, you will receive reinforcements. I hope. It just will not be too late.
Well, let us hope that we do not need reinforcements too soon. We shall try to avoid trouble where we can.
He nods. Then go, and may shadows hide you.
Ooh, I like this.
Very well.
And with that, the road is upon you. First of all, however, is the matter of leaving South Point itself. Do you attempt to make any kind of attempt of subterfuge on your way out of the ruined city?
We're fairly sure.
8 minutes of invisibility at any point.
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
We're fairly sure Maxim and Torokar are long gone, right? I mean,
That's
they flew
true.
off with the ship.
That's true. But this is
Not the only threat in the city.
it's a city still contested by war, so there will always be threats here.
For sure. I mean, I suggest we just retrace our steps to start with, back out where we came, because at least we know that route. And hopefully we won't encounter anything too severe along the way. I mean, we took care of the Sahagin on the way in, so...
visit our good friends.
I think they said they were leaving, didn't they?
They were leaving,
gone as soon as
yes.
we left.
Well, we've not been here that long.
Well, long enough.
Several long
you've-
nights.
It's true, it's been a couple
Two
of
long
days.
rests and
Yeah.
and of
Oh
course
yeah,
an
we did a long
adventure.
rest, didn't we?
Yeah.
In amongst the fire,
Yeah.
The fire,
overnight,
yeah.
it's not.
like absolute legends.
Okay, well, in that case, you're just going to make your gradual way out of the city.
I mean, obviously, we're being as aware as possible, keeping an eye out along the way.
Yeah. You
Not much more we could do than that, really.
you hear the raging sounds of battle in the distance. You are aware that there is some contest in the far distance, in the northern ends of the city. The clang of steel and the cry of battle can be heard, but it's too far for you to engage in currently, and probably is serving as a distraction for your withdrawal today. And soon you find yourselves on the open flats that lead to the cliffs of where South Point is built upon. That open territory that had been so daunting to walk to the city now feels very exposed as you begin your journey back towards the temple ruin, the Temple of Lothlan bastardized into the trick of Erythnol. And you managed to arrive there without any problem. I should as well say, Galaric, that you were able to retrieve guys with no issue. The horse was very glad to see you when you arrived. He flicked his tail and made a noise, and specks of blood sort of like taint your armor as he does. As he did.
Excellent. More rations for you, guys.
Do you want to give me a... You can give me a spot check or no. A spot check will be a hard one. If you have handle animal or anything... handle animal, then it will be a slightly lower DC.
I don't have handle animal.
That's
so it's
staggering, and actually I'm not surprised considering you're...
I'm trained in handle animal, but I have no points in it.
I'm not trained in it, but I do have spot.
Do spot, and then you can do handle animal for a lower DC if you prefer, Fleece.
I mean, like I say, I have no points in it, and it's charisma, so it's plus 0. But it's still handle animal.
That's enough. You are... that's fine. You are slightly alarmed, Fleece, by this. Galaric, you can describe what your reaction to this. You can't help but notice as you go to pat guys, there appear to be two sort of lumps that are forming on either side of the horse's head.
Oh no!
Got yourself into a little bit of an accident there, have we, guys? A few bumps on the noggin. Oh dear.
How many times his head butted you, Galaric?
That's
Do you know what? I don't know that the DM is entirely aware of how scientifically accurate he is being out of game, because if you constantly feed a herbivore meat, they do develop mutations. They develop lumps and bumps on their body. They become deformed, is what I'm saying. Scientific fact.
Wow. So maybe something to keep an eye on. At any rate.
It'll be fine if you just... I'll give him a couple of ice packs if I can find one.
So,
Ice packs.
Yeah, to reduce the swelling. Must just be concussion.
you find the temple ruin seemingly unchanged from when you were there last. You see the big arrow in the ground that Galaric had drawn when doing his high check of the trapdoor, revealing its location. and it appears to be untouched from when you'd last concealed that place. So, yes, you will be able to rest here, and you will not need to. Well, it's up to you if you do a watch or not, but you know that you are going to receive secure rest any time you rest here.
Yeah, I mean, we'll lock the trapdoor above us and get a nice rest in.
You do so. Is there anything that you'd like to do on this first rest?
Fleece will take the time to express his gratitude to both of you. You have both, at different times, you have both saved my life. I owe you both a life debt. This is very important to me and my people, and that will not be forgotten.
I gratefully receive your thanks and, kind words. I would remind you that if you weren't here, I'd probably have been crushed by some horrific pig monster of some sort already. So I wouldn't.
Hope you continue to put yourself down. And it is not accurate. I have seen you in combat. I think that were Galeric and I not around, you would be able to take care of yourself very well. I'm sure that you would be avoiding as much trouble as we have got you into, so.
I won't deny I'd probably avoid most of the things that we've come across. However, we're not the only ones holding the end of the bargain.
Indeed, your strength and your character are insurmountable. They are as large as you are in stature, my friend. So...
I appreciate you saying this, my friend. I look forward to many great combats together in our future. I'm sure that we will be more victorious than the last one. And we have learned from this. We are not defeated.
I look forward to avoiding them.
I look forward to the rematch.
Well, let's not be too hasty with such a... seeking out such a thing.
Oh, I don't know. It'd be a glorious tale, wouldn't it?
Well, it's all very well for people who get reborn, Galeric, but for those of us with just one life to spend on this...
There is no guarantee. This could be my final shot at this.
I do not know enough of the afterlife to know that I only have one life. Well, we all may have many.
Well, I hope you don't go where I'm going. So, fingers crossed.
I will be going to a place where we get to fight every day.
I will be going to somewhere where we don't have to fight every day. We can just eat and drink.
Plenty of books, eh?
Fun bets on things. Yes, lectures.
Pop talks.
Pop. Speaking on, I believe I was requested by Fleece to not explain something in the moment, but to wait till afterwards. So I've made a little note, and Pop will give you a breakdown of... I can't remember exactly what it was.
I don't remember. I do remember what you're saying, though. He was bleeding out at the time, and it was like, I want to hear you, but... Please will listen intently.
So the rest is idled away, or rather usefully used, listening to the grand lecture that Pop gives on everything that he wasn't able to lecture you about previously. So, the next day dawns, you find yourself emerging from the trapdoor of the Trick Temple of Falaflin, and The day is murky. The skies of the rush front as ever are blemished and besmirched with magical fires that still burn above you. And you continue on your way. As has been mentioned previously, when we look at this particular map, because it's a more zoomed in version than what we're used to, this means that your journey is going to take you, if you're successful, pretty much to the start/midpoint of the rot route if you're following the river. As you are following the river, it is still inescapable for you to notice, about there, that battle still rages here and there in pockets of resistance and across this realm. But you aren't privy to any battle or anything like that. Your road finds, as predicted and informed by Delver, you find that your road begins to be dotted with sinkholes and gullies. And you find that it isn't quite as simple to follow the path of the river as closely as you would like. You are beginning to see a number of twisted trees that seem to reach out towards you. Every twig upon their branch is like fingers beckoning you forwards. Can you all give me a spot check, please?
18.
24.
Pop, you are the only one to spot this, for it was a very high DC. Every now and then, Pop, you're looking into the twisted, tangling vision before you of these trees, this forest, the rot root. The ground is just sodden and muddy, and you feel like every step could be into a sinking pit and you wouldn't have any chance whatsoever. There is a thin layer of fog that appears to hang within the rot root, which is sort of shown on the image there. But in amidst these trees and the mist and the mud, every now and then, Pop, you see a figure standing there.
Is it the same one?
Its features are impossible to make out, though it appears to be tall, with particularly long arms. Arms that would stretch longer than a normal humanoid's. But every time you would sort of make an approach or make a movement towards it, it would be gone.
It's a bloody slender man. Jesus.
If you imagine that silhouette, not too dissimilar. Not too dissimilar.
Nope. Fleet says, nope, going home.
Want to allow
I'm out.
you. But there does seem to be a creature that has noted our traversing.
Oh well.
But it does seem to be magical in nature.
Well, we'll just keep an eye out for it.
The day continues and the going is hard. You just note that every step you take is uphill, and the way is just getting steeper and steeper, and you're trying to keep your path out of the rot route. But every time you turn the bend in the river or anything like that, you find that you are just being pressed uncomfortably close to the edge of this forest. And I know that you have fully stated that you are really trying to stay away from it, so you aren't going into it. I'm not trying to pull a fast on you. You're not going into the rot route, but you are so close to it that you are just constantly getting these glimpses into this horrifying place. And it gets worse as night begins to fall. You hear the shrieks of birds that you've never heard the like of. You can hear the rustling of large animals moving in the shadows. And then at last, the sun sets, and it is time for you to make camp. Do you have an order of watch?
It was Pop, Fleece, Gallerick, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Pop. Wait, sorry. Say that again. Pop.
Pop sleeps first. No, Pop watches first.
Yes.
Then Fleece, then Gallerick.
Okay.
So Pop gets a full night of unbroken sleep, and
That's
so Gallerick can tend to his horse in the morning.
Yes.
Can one of you roll me a d4, please? And if it's a it's a 1, Pop, 2, Fleece, 3, Gallerick, reroll if it's a 4.
Of course it's a reroll.
Of course.
Oh my god. Roll a d3.
It's a 2, it's me.
Please, can you give me a spot check, please?
Oh, I'm already on the number. It's a 12. This is me keeping watch, guys. My 12.
You are very
roll.
uncomfortable with the environment you find yourself in, Fleece, and you're not in a particularly good place to be on watch anyway. Your encampment is, on one side you've got a forest, there's sinkholes, there's mountains over there. Like visibility isn't great anyway, and you don't spy anything that evening. At all, in fact.
But nothing happens, which makes it worse.
Can you give me a listen check as well, please?
Oh, see, now that I can do.
This is for something different. Just to let you know, I'm not giving you another try. This is something
just to really mess with your head. This is something else.
Well, in a way,
Heaven.
I'm really glad.
Very good hearing.
And I'm glad we are doing this with you, Fleece, because previously it's been mentioned that, Fleece has spent a lot of his time just living outdoors, hasn't he? Like, that's his whole thing. He's used to living in nature.
To be honest, this is kind of why I did his skills the way I did them, because I figured being in the mountains, it's how they communicate long distance through the mountains. Being able to listen really well, having good hearing is important.
Yodeling.
Essentially, yeah, kind of giant yodeling. I'm down for that.
Yeah, that's canon.
Nice.
The thing that you notice, please, with a 27 on the listen check, is that whereas before you were moving in the day, there was these sounds of nature, and there was the sound of those birds that you've never heard the like of or anything like that. At night, it's deathly quiet. There isn't a sound coming from the rot root. It is just silent. There's no wind moving through the trees. There isn't any scuffle of any night creatures of any kind at all. It is just silent.
That's not okay.
And it seems like the longest time before you are then relieved. Your watch comes to an end, Fleece. Gallerick takes over, and the night goes uncomfortably but undisturbed. Is there anything that you guys would have done on your rest at all? Any preparation or any discussion you would have before you continue, with 2 days remaining before you reach the observatory?
It's at times like this where you wish you could cast alarm.
Oh, this is the spell that was on the treasure.
Yes,
it's probably
a very good one, but
very
not
useful.
one that I've ever learned.
I'm very uncomfortable here, but we must continue our journey. It is important.
I did sleep incredibly well, though. Nothing, no strange noises woke out. That's got to be positive.
No, it was
really,
very
isn't
quiet.
Yes.
Beautifully quiet. Undisturbed. Let us continue.
And continue you do. You find yourselves continuing to follow this path, and it becomes more treacherous the further you go. You are now seeing that the river has become a cascade of various rapids, the incline of it steeper and steeper. And in the far distance you see, lining the horizon, ever present, but now ever closer, the reach of the Wrokken itself, the endless Wrokken, the terrible, winding, treacherous mountainscape. And you are almost certain that you can see the rise of a great mist caused by a titanic waterfall that plunges in the distance. You find that your pathway leads into another sinkhole, and you are disturbed to see that your path is forked. As you make your way into this sinkhole, you find that there are sort of raised areas on either side of you and in front of you. And all of a sudden, a voice calls out to you. Oh, I don't believe it! Oh, I don't believe it! As we bring you onto this map, you look up an escarpment that is sort of wreathed with roots. Dead, rotting roots that hang from a cliff face. Hopefully you can all see that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And at the top of this escarpment, there is a familiar figure. Hodwin, the deserter, stares down at you from on high. He has certainly seen better days. He didn't look well when you met him last time. Now he is a shivering wreck of a man. Your prediction for him was correct. Leaving him to the wilds was not a mercy. Quaking.
This is wicked.
Quaking, he sort of looks down at you with wide eyes. He's just covered in filth. You can see that his a number of days old beard now sprouts out of his chin in patches, and there's mud caking him. And shivering him, shaking, he says, "Hey, it's you! It's you! You found me! You found me!"
My friend, we were not looking for you. Sorry to disappoint.
What do you mean? What do you mean you weren't looking for me?
We have happened across you. We have not found you.
Oh yeah, you're after what I carried off. Is that it?
What seems to be the problem? Hodwin, wasn't it?
Hodwin, yeah. Hodwin, yeah.
Are you hurt?
Like you were hurt last time.
I think I'm hurt. Yeah. I am hurt, and I'm not just hurt here. I'm hurt here, you know. And he points at his head. What are you doing this way then, if not finding me?
Well, we are just continuing upon our travels.
Oh yeah. Just wandering like you do through the rock route, is that it?
What are you doing here,
I'm saying
Hodwin?
you have done the same thing.
I was
Yeah, literally what you've done.
I was driven here. I ain't got a choice. I was driven here, alright?
Who were you driven here by?
Creatures in the dark. They loom out of places. I can hear them. I can hear them still. I can smell them. The filth of them.
Hodwin, are you in need of aid?
Yeah, I think so. If you wouldn't mind, I'm struggling to move. I thought if I climbed up here, I might be able to at least be in a defendable position. Look, and he points at his shield. He points at the Dominion symbol of the towered crown that he has, that supposedly symbolised him as being one of the first people on the top of a wall during a siege. You might remember. This honorific has now served him to climb up this muddy escarpment where he now sits. If you could help me down, I think I might appreciate it. I'm a little bit cold.
All right.
Would you?
Can we do a sense motive?
Yeah. Yeah.
Galaric's just taking my face, so Galaric has started to walk over, but I'll leave it.
That's fine. Yeah, you get to about
whilst
there.
you
That's
do the
fine.
checks.
My sense motive is terrible, boys, so I think we all need to...
29. 20. So before we do that, because Galaric, you have been started trotting around. You note that there is a rather deep, murky pool in the centre of this place. The water at the bottom of this pool has like a murky green algae covering it. In terms of sense motive, a natural 20 and then a 29 from Pop. While Hodwin has got a background of being deceitful to you all, he doesn't appear like he's trying to hide anything from you. He clearly is in distress and is clearly not physically there anymore. Like he's obviously just really suffered at the hands of the rush front, and now it seems the rot route. You think of all the horrors that you've experienced. Imagine doing that alone. He's shaking at the top of this mound as he looks down at you. And then as you draw closer, Galaric, he says, "Do you mean to actually help, or are you here to finish the job you couldn't be bothered to do last time? All my friends died, you know. All my friends got killed by those monsters. I'm an innocent in this, you know, an innocent."
We'll help you, Hodwin. Don't worry, we will help you.
You'll be pleased to hear we avenged your friend's death.
Oh, is that so? Well, I've only got your word to go on it. Your name.
Yes, actually, we went into the cave, and we came across a little more than what you told us was in there.
I didn't even get in the bleeding cave! Bleeding boar skewered us all! Savaged me, it did!
It very nearly savaged us as well, but we got on okay. As you can see.
I seem to recall you weren't savaged at all. It was your friends who suffered
Well,
the tusks of the beast.
that's true, but then once I'd made my way away from you all, I did notice a little nick.
Oh, little Nick, was it?
Right, yes.
It seemed to
no.
fester over the evenings, and
Oh, no. Wait
And
a
I
minute,
seem to-
Pop, you told... Flames will... Pop, you told me about the disease. The disease. You will try and still say it under his breath. The disease. He has the disease.
and I
Oh, God.
can't even really say my name properly anymore. You call me Hodwin, it's more Hogwin. He gives a shriek as he then falls to his knees.
Fucking hell,
He goes, and ever since... they've never left me alone, and they keep coming back. And in horror, you watch as that same ritual that has removed the cycle of the moons out of the picture of their transformations, you see that Hodwin absolutely begins to transform into Hogwin. He gives a terrible, terrible cry, and there is the sound of snapping flesh and bone as the man in front of you is undone, and rising in his place there is a werebore. It gives a terrible shrieking cry, and he's right. He's not alone. His terrible shrieking screams into the air, and you can see that from beneath the vines and from within this place you have stumbled across another hiding place of the moon swine. And that is where we will leave it for this half. We will return.
Really needed that. That was fantastic.
After a very short break. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you'd like to see more like it, give us a subscribe. And of course, don't go anywhere, as our adventurers will once again clash against the moon swine.
Hogwin.
Let's go hog wild.
We have returned, and you look on as Hodwin has indeed become Hogwin. That failed heal check, Galaric, has unknowingly haunted you for many sessions.
Oh, yeah. No way.
And now it is revealed that, yes, he was faking injury, but also had sustained another injury which had been caused the course of his lycanthropic disposition that you see before him, transforming on top of this rock high above. You now see emerging all around you these terrible hog-like creatures. The moon swine are upon you. Hodwin is spending his turn snuffling about, finalising his transformation and raising... Yeah, find some truffles. And then pulls out a great looking hammer that has been on his person. And he gives a terrifying and points you out to his friends, his new friends. However, they do not go first. Galaric, you're the person who follows up on the initiative.
Well, Galaric will trot to about here. And as Galaric's trotting, he lifts up his glaive, and slightly different now, as there almost appears to be a light from above that seems to just illuminate Galaric. Even though there's light permeating through, there seems to be something there, as Galaric lets out not so much a beckoning call, but an angry scream at this evil around him. And as he bellows out, just, this evil ends now, as he enters a holy fury.
What?
And whilst in the holy fury, he then, that's a free action, as a swift action, he beckons to everyone around him for a test of mettle, so they all need to make a will save, please, of 15 or fight only me.
Okay, well, we'll start with Hodwin.
Sorry, that wasn't his name.
Sorry, Hogwin. I'm changing it on the initiative
Robert.
sheet.
Don't tell Porkies.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Shit.
he wants to kill you. That is a failure. He wants to kill you. He wants to kill you. And 3 more. He doesn't. He also doesn't. One last one. Also doesn't. So that's actually quite handy because one half of the board desperately wants to kill you, the other is yet to be determined. So you'll find that Hogwin, the one here, turns its attention to you, Galaric, as does the one that looms on top of this raised escarpment behind you, snuffling and snorting on high. But I imagine there's more to your turn than just that, or is it just that?
Then as a standard action, I will go into total defense and ready. I don't want to attack just yet. But it's almost like golden steam is sort of just coming off his armor.
Wow.
This holy fury.
Yeah, all of you almost see like god rays beaming down from a gap in the trees of the rock root to illuminate the night as he challenges the moon swine, the sun against the moon. That's you then, Galaric. The werebores handily on this side are now going to converge on your position. So this one, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 can reach you. It's just charges at you.
Horrendous.
Gurgling from its snout, blood and snot exuding from its nostrils, and it just flings itself at you, Galaric. What is your armor class, please?
Against him, 27.
Whoa! So these guys are armed with battle axes, hammers, claws, and gores, of course. This one, of course, is going to try and gore you as he charges you. But you're able to defend yourself. How do you do so against the raging werebore?
As I'm still kind of glancing and pointing my glaive at the others around me, trying to invite them over, the animated shield just naturally drops down to intercept. And then I click.
Amazing. And as you intercept, you see the shadow, and you look up and you see the other werebore hurtles off the edge and just leaps at you from above, and is going to try and grapple you. So he needs to get your touch armor class first, I believe.
Does he provoke an attack of opportunity?
Yes, he does. Yes.
As he's diving at me, then I'll attempt to swing and hit him.
Yep.
Oh, low. 19.
You miss. You go just wide as he plunges down at you, and attacks your armor class, your touch armor class. Sorry.
14.
Okay, he gets out on the die, so he does get your touch armor class. So now we're going to oppose. If he's successful, he's going to try and pull you out of your saddle, Galaric.
Don't try and horse him.
Yep, let's go. Opposed, grapple, yeah.
30.
And that's a 1 on the die for him. So the fall, he hits you, but I think the fall is just too much, and in his savage ways just threw himself at you and then thought of the consequences afterwards. He sort of hits you but sort of bounces from your defences as he lands there. Very good. That was werebore 2 and werebore 3. Pop, it is your turn.
I am going to. I think he's a bit too far, so I'll go for this one here. And,
yes, up there.
Going to shout up to him. Be careful up there. It's awfully high, isn't it? And he's going to cast Vertigo on the beastie.
Okay, so you'll have to remind me of the actual mechanics behind Vertigo.
So he must make a will save first of all. That is a sorry, I should have checked. Second level spell, and he's not moved yet, has he? So
he hasn't. So he is flat-footed because he's not acted yet. That's right.
Indeed, and it's an illusion, so that's a bonus. So this is a DC 20 will save.
Oh my word! Well, surprisingly, the wereboars do have quite a good will save, but we will see. That is a high save to make. Regardless, that is a failure. He succumbs to that will save. What happens?
So he's now got vertigo.
Okay.
The subject must succeed on a DC 10 balance check at the start of each turn to take a move action. And then the thing that I've got has got a random sentence in there. And after that random sentence, if it fails, it cannot move. If it fails a check by 5 or more, it falls prone. While affected, it also takes a -2 penalty on attacks and saving throws. Apologies for bringing back the negatives.
It's alright. It's almost like I'm getting warmed up for them. Okay, so you look, Pop, and you can tell that your work has been successful because as his like terrifying advance on the brim of this drop, and like he goes. And immediately sort of staggers his approach. We will see what happens when we get to his turn. Anything else, Pop?
No, I think I'm probably safest where I am currently. So
Yeah.
Move.
Very good.
Yes, so Pop uses her illusion powers to make it appear that the ground is pulling away from him as he, no doubt, acts.
Excellent. I'm imagining the Spielberg Jaws effect of the push in on the dolly and the zoom out.
Yeah.
Very good.
Ooh, freaky.
Felice, it is your turn.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, the last two in the initiative didn't do very well. The last two
I did
balls.
a check, and I believe that's 80. That is double my speed. I can do a charge of that distance and land in that square, so I can do a charge attack on that guy.
You're going to do a massive jump because of how far it is.
I will do a big old 10-foot jump at the end, which there's really no point in rolling for that, because I've had enough run up, and I have a jump of 10. No, I have a jump of 16, so I can't fail even if I roll a 1.
What if you decide to do a flip as well?
I mean, I'm not rolling tumble. Because I'm not that stupid. And I will take 5 points off for a 5-point power attack. See what we can do.
Yeah, you hurtle through the air. Let's see if you can strike him.
Let's see if he can do it this time.
He's yet to move, so this is on his flat-footed.
I don't roll well. 15.
You don't, and I'm so sorry, Fleece, but you missed the
Hang on.
flat-foot.
Do you get a bonus for charging?
You do.
Plus 2, isn't it? So that's 15, 16, 17.
You hit his flat-footed armor class.
Thank God for the charge. I completely... Yeah, I'm not used to doing charges. I apologise, but yes.
No, that's absolutely fine. Yep, so you do, in fact, actually connect, thankfully. Thankfully,
Okay.
indeed.
So that means that is 6 plus 13 plus I did 5 times 2, so that makes it, and then that makes it plus that. Ugh, 50. As he leaps through the air in slow motion, but not actually slow motion this time.
What is it like as you immediately kill him?
Oh, wicked. I mean, 50 is 50 enough? Yeah, 50 is probably enough. I reckon he just chops him, like, in half. Not straight through the head. He's going for the shoulder, but he puts so much into it that the axe actually goes through and hits the floor.
Oh,
And the guy just, his head and body, and then the other half's body just goes the other way. Flace has clearly got some pent-up frustration from the previous combo. He's like, ah!
Amazing. Anything else on your turn there, please?
That is me.
It is the remaining wereboars who will make their attempt We'll begin with this one who sees that you have come into range. 5, 10. It's going to charge you in his own way. Moving with alarming speed, you'll find. The charging boar, tusks low to the ground and then an arc up to try and skewer you. What is your armor class, please?
Due to the charge, which takes 2 off of your armor class, I believe, 17, 15.
Possibly a critical.
Yeah. Oh! The law of sod.
Not a critical, just a hit. So you turn at the last second, and this thing comes in with a gore, and it does get you, but not.
Bring it.
But not as bad as it could have been. So the gore comes in for a nasty 12 points of piercing damage. That's a lot.
That's pretty nasty. Yeah,
that's quite bad.
Gee.
Please make a fortitude saving throw.
Yeah, I knew that was coming next. Anytime you like. There we go. Fortitude. 17.
You just get this gash in your side as it goes for you. A bit of your blue blood flecks out as it engages you, but then you find you're locked in just a vicious battle with this creature as he makes his move. This one up here lurches forward and is going to try and make his way down the escarpment. So he'll take a 5-foot step to the roots, the vines. Sorry. So he's moved and intends to move further. So
yeah, he needs to make a DC 10 balance check.
No one can
resist. If he fails, he can't make the move. If he fails by more than 5, or by 5 or more, so if he only gets 5 or less, he will fall prone.
That is a natural 1, so he goes to move and gets onto the vines, and if he's falling prone there, I think we know what that means. Can you roll? Wait, it's 2d6 for me, please, Dom.
Was exactly what I wanted. 9.
As he just goes arse over tusk over the edge, and goes BAM and just smashes into the ground for 9 points of bludgeoning damage, and he is prone on the ground, and that will conclude his turn, I think. Wait, yeah, he's taken that damage. Okay, so that was him. I think that concludes the turn of the Moonswine. So we're back to the top of the round, and Hogwin is going to make his move. 5, 10, 15. That's quite a lot. So he's actually. Is he gonna? He's going to stay where he is. He appears to be rummaging on a satchel that he has on his side. Most of his clothing is, of course, torn away. He looks dishevelled anyway, but he's actually rummaging for something. That's his turn. Galaric, it's your turn.
Cool. This one here. That light and that kind of golden sort of haze that was coming off Galaric seems to intensify as Galaric is going to unleash a furious strike upon that one.
Very good. It looks up at you with its beady eyes, and you strike.
That 29.
Yeah, that's a hit.
And as he attacks, both what looks like radiant damage coming from above, but also that brimstone from underneath seemed to crash in the middle.
Ah, cool.
+6 plus 8 plus 6 for 20 points of damage.
It gives a piggish squeal as your strike lands dead on him for 20. Do you have another attack?
I do, yes. I was just keeping that one separate.
Yep, that's absolutely fine. So you smash him once at where heaven meets hell. He's trapped in the middle.
Bang! And then the second hit with a cut with the glaive for 22.
Is also is a miss.
Ooh.
Is a miss. Your strike just bounces off his hide, maybe deflected off a tusk. But yeah, the second strike does not hit, unfortunately. Anything else, Galaric?
Nope, that was a full round. All good.
He returns his attack.
Very interesting stuff there, Galaric. Curious what you've done. Super cool.
He is gonna try and strike at you. Armor class
Against him,
Yep.
23.
Once again blocked by the animated shield. The full weight of the wereboar is just battered aside. The other one just is going to he's going to do the same thing. He's going to do what he tried before. He's going to try and grapple you. So he will provoke an attack of opportunity as he goes for your touch armor class.
Which is on that. Oh, 17.
Which is great. Touch armor class?
10.
Yeah, he's got you. Opposed grapple, please. It's pretty good.
Oh, 16.
He's got you. The Moonswine seizes hold of you, Garrick, and pulls you from the saddle. Can you make a ride check, I believe it is, to prevent yourself from being pull prone?
Yes.
I don't think you get automatically pull prone, but then again, he has grappled you, so it's all like...
I looked up the rule for this before, but using trip, so I can't remember.
It's the same, isn't it, I think?
Well, trip has a specific rule for pulling someone from a saddle. I'm not sure. I think grapple just means you would have to pin to pull him from the saddle.
Yeah, he's just grabbed you, and he successfully grabbed you. Yeah, so I'll say, Gallery, if you'd like to do a ride check to not fall prone, that would be great.
DC...
That's a good question. I don't actually know what to ask for that. DC, what did he beat you by? Okay, we'll say DC 15.
27.
Yeah, so he grabs hold of you, but you're a practiced knight riding into melee, and as soon as he's grabbed hold of you, you'll feel yourself being pulled from the horse. You just come out of the saddle and are now locked next to him. So if you want to put yourself next to him, or with your dismounted token.
There he is.
There we are.
Oh, so he did pull me out of the saddle.
Yeah, he successfly pulled you out of the saddle, yeah, but you're just... This was to see if you were prone when he pulls you out. You're not. You're on your feet, yeah. And there you are. That is his turn, however. That was Werebore 3. No, that wasn't Werebore 3. That was Werebore 5. Cool. Okay. With that, it is now Pop's turn.
Very good. Pop will move to here, just to prevent any charging. Should actually probably there, just in case there's. Although actually, presumably that's difficult terrain.
This is a drop, even though that's like a branch there. That's the drop.
Okay, so I'm relatively safe.
Yeah, that's fine.
From this guy. Sweet. And then I will cast Blinding Colour Surge on Hog up here. He needs to make a will save or be blinded for a round.
On Hogwin, you mean?
I do mean on Hogwin.
Save again, sorry, DC?
DC will be 19 will save.
Oh, it's close, but he fails. You are successful.
Fantastic. He is blinded for 1 round. And Pop disappears.
With a pop, and he's gone. Very good, yeah. The Hogwin is screeching at the top of that escarpment. His plans foiled as he was reaching for something. You don't know what. Is there anything else on your turn, Pop, as you pop out of existence for a moment?
No, that's all.
Very good, Felice. You find that this wereboar has tried to strike you, has done so, and is upon you. What do you do?
Well, first of all, I'll be striking at his touch armor class.
Oh, his touch armor class. Go ahead.
24.
Yes, you get his touch armor class.
So now we need to do opposed trip.
Yeah.
Which I will get my usual bonuses. That obviously he's medium, right? So
he is medium, yes.
28.
You beat him. He wasn't. I mean, he was quite far up, but not as far off as you might expect. You are successful. He's not prone.
So yeah, literally uses the sort of beard of the axe, scoops the leg, brings it overhead, and as he's falling, he brings it down to sort of help him fall.
Yes.
With another attack, I will take, let's say, 5 points again.
Good number, yeah.
16.
To hit is a miss, unfortunately.
He is prone.
Oh, yeah, so you get a +4 when he's prone.
Yes. Well, he gets -4 in his armor class, same thing.
It's a miss.
Okay.
So you sweep his legs, but somehow, like, the axe falls just shy of him as he slams into the ground.
Out of curiosity, do I get, if I try to trip attack, do I get my second attack?
Oh, yeah, but I thought that was your second attack. I thought your first one's your trip, and then your second one is the strike.
No, the follow-up attack, you get an automatic follow-up.
Oh, when you're successfully tripping. Oh, of course. Well, in that case, yeah, you would still have a second attack. Sure thing, yeah.
So that will be with 5 points off a power attack.
Yeah, I think you've got to commit to it.
It's still
Sadly,
not good at all.
You just savagely hack at him as he's on the ground, and he's like, "Bleh," and just rolls around in the mud, clearly comfortable there.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Oh, that's a shame, Fleece. Okay, that is you. He is now going to take his turn.
It's all good. He's down. I don't mind.
He will provoke an attack of opportunity as he rises.
Yeah. Does my power attack still count?
I think
power attack stays a full round until it's back to your round again.
Yeah, so I won't have to do it, won't I?
Yeah.
That's fine. 17 this time.
Yeah, like as he's rising, boom, it glances off his tusk as he goes to gore you, armor class.
Hang on, that was my attack of opportunity. Did I hit him?
No, you missed.
Even though he's -4?
Maths. Yeah, you miss him.
Okay, fair enough.
Or rather, you don't get through his armor, I would say. Yeah, it's unsuccessful. It bounces off
his...
his...
class is 17.
I've rolled already, so I will keep that roll. He goes to gore you once again. How do you avoid his strike as he rises up to try and savage you?
I think it's... again, he's kind of focusing on trying to get this guy who's rolling around on the floor, and it's just a simple backstep. He just... and then carries on with... There's nothing flashy about it. He's just clawing and he hits the floor instead of my leg.
I love that. We now move our vision down to the lower half of...
Did he stand?
Yeah.
He did. Right, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
That was what provoked the attack of opportunity, because it's more movement than it's half your movement, which would do it if you're trying to do anything else, yeah. We move to the Vertigo cursed lycanthrope at the southern end of the map, who is bent on revenge, Pop, and will attempt to move towards you. Balance. DC is 10, you said, yes?
Correct.
That's a 15 on the die, so he can move. Does he have to roll per all of his movement, or...?
No, just per round.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35... Oh,
I am invisible, I should say.
of course you are, yeah. Well, he's going to run in your direction.
Yeah.
Will do his full movement, which is, like I say, surprisingly fast. And... Oh, I guess... 5, 10... He's just going to double move. And you watch Pop as he just trots by you. I say trots, it's a bit more aggressive than that. Like surges through the mud past you, clearly trying to overwhelm Galaric, who he's seen has been pulled out of his saddle. But that's his full movement, double movement, so that is his turn. We then move to this one up here with you, Galaric. Wait, did I do him? Did I do these guys? I didn't, did I?
They've been done, yeah.
They've been done. So, Vertigo, him, and he's dead. So we're back to the top of the round. Hodwin is blinded. For a round,
Yes,
yeah?
just for one round, yeah.
What's he going to do if he's blinded?
Get a cane.
He's not going to do anything. He's not going to do anything. He's going to stay up there. Galaric, it's your turn.
Well, I need to break out of a grapple.
You do.
I guess.
You do.
So I will do that.
Yep, so opposed. Yep.
31.
Oh, it's a good roll, but yours is insane. You break the grapple with ease.
I'm not going to do any follow-up attacks because I actually am too close to use my glaive. So instead, I will take a 5-foot step to here. As I do so, guys just kind of steps back as I move into that space.
Yep. Trained as he is to follow you in the melee, that's absolutely fine. Yep.
That's it. That's all I've got.
Oh dear. They're upon you, Galaric. What's happening? This one is going to close... And I think you could probably tell what I'm going to do.
As he passes out of my threat range,
Yep.
because it's
Yep, I remember. Yep.
difficult
Go ahead.
terrain.
Yep, so that provokes your attack of opportunity.
27.
Oh, so he lunges at you, but you already make your damage as you land true.
First attack of the round, so it comes with a bit of hellfire in it.
Yep.
23 points of damage, almost Maximilian.
Lunges at you, and in one fluid movement, you destroy him. What is it like?
Oh, he's already a bit weak. So he's sort of limping towards me a bit more. And as I see him coming through, I'm able just to sweep under his legs. And as he falls to the ground, I don't need to finish him off because Ergeist reaches in and has a bit of a chew.
Bam! And Ergeist enjoys. Pork is back on the menu. So that was him. Yeah, see, this is why I've done the initiative in a really weird, rather than their numbering in a really weird way in the battlefield, because now the ones that were on this side were on that side. So, actually, you know what? Just for simplicity, I'm just gonna do their turn now as well. Why not? No, I can't do that. This one is supposed to be attacking Fleece. I did their turns out of order. I did it in position. This one is technically before that one over there. I do apologise for confusing it. I've numbered them in a really weird way. He's going to attack your armor class. What is your armor class, please?
Mine?
Yes.
Didn't he already attack me once this round?
We're back to... No, this is the start of a new round. So it was Hardwin who was blind and decided not to do anything. Then it was Galaric. Then it was the one next to him. And now it should be the one next to you. I just did it wrong last time.
Oh. He's getting 2 attacks before I get 1. Cheeky devil. Okay, 17.
Well, it's a miss anyway. It's... Okay.
It's all right.
It is a miss. I did it the wrong way the last round. But anyway, yes. He misses. And it is now your turn, Pop.
Pop will dart forward, and seeing that Galaric is getting himself surrounded, we'll move to there and cast displacement upon Galaric. Invisibly, he touches you, and you feel yourself start to shift in and out of physical presence in the world, and attacks miss you 50% of the time.
Oh, very nice. Do I have any issues attacking with that, or is it just receiving?
No, it's just receiving. Just
Such a child.
I will just double check, but it would be an odd thing to make you. But...
Twould.
Thanks.
Fairly sure there's no issue attacking with that spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you remain invisible, Pop?
Yes, because it's not an attacking action.
Yep, no problem. That's cool. Anything else?
That's it.
Fleece, it is your turn.
Well, we'll just try and do the same thing again. On his touch
You
armor
could
class.
actually do me a favour and kill him. That'd be really useful for my
Keep everything a little simpler.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
31 on his touch
Thank
armor.
you. Yes, that is definitely going to hit him. Yes.
Do you know what? I think I'll drop into a rage.
For
Right.
that attack, or
Well, I mean, that was the... Actually, yeah, that's not really fair to do that halfway.
no. I he got 2 attacks in a round, so I'll say that you could have done this whilst you raged. That's fine. So add your rage bonuses to whatever you're doing. That's fine.
So I will... Now he... so now it's opposed trip. So
oh yeah,
I
of
lost
course, yeah.
completely where I was then for a moment. Which is... How much does my strength go up by? So trip will go up by... Right. 33 on the trip.
You defeat his defense. You are
Right.
successful. He falls back to the ground.
Nice, he is down. And now I will do a 5-point power attack again
Okay.
on him on the floor, but I'm raging this time, so I have a few extra points. 17 again!
Is unfortunately a miss. Yeah.
I mean, just...
Yeah.
Okay. And then with the follow-up attack would be... so I think it's that with rage. 10. I rolled a 2. I rolled the same numbers as the last time, but he is on the floor. So
Here's and that's yeah. So I mean,
that's just tremendous bad luck, isn't it, on the rolls? Yeah. Hey ho, these things happen. He's on the floor. That's all that matters. Sorry, Rob.
don't be sorry.
I tried to kill him.
No, I know. It's not your fault.
You'll have to deal with him for another
round. So now we go back to the ones over here. So this one is going to close on Galaric here with a free 5-foot step.
Which, with my combat reflexes, provokes a second attack of opportunity.
Yep.
And I have looked. You can smite on an attack of opportunity.
Get in, let's do it.
So, Galaric is not only going to smite, he's going to pull in all channeling from his devil's favour and the fires of Nessus itself. As that works out as... that on an attack roll. That's possibly a critical.
Yes.
As I threaten on a 19.
Yes.
32.
Yes! That is a critical hit as the glaive comes down upon the hog. Roll a d100.
70.
Please roll 1d4.
3.
And I'll quote, voice box punctured, no talking. No talking.
No
Well, I
talking.
know where this
That's what it
going.
says, no talking. Yes, however, you still get
runs
your
it, but he
standard critical damage, so please roll your standard critical damage.
Oh, that's glorious, because it is times 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that is... plus...
Punctured implies a thrusting motion as well.
Yes. Plus...
Is this the first time you've done this attack? This new...
Oh, this is the second time I've used attack of opportunity as a combat reflexes.
It's just come out as a critical. It's just lovely.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I think that's all I did.
What have you damaged?
Smites in there.
Yeah, roll your damage. Come on.
Oh. There we go.
You should actually roll it, Michael.
70 points of damage.
Okay, well, we know he's dead. You thrust into his voice box, but what's it like as he dies?
I think that he attempts to lunge at me so powerful that actually I just lower the glaive and he does the damage himself as he jumps, falls through the glaive, through the voice box. And all Galaric really has to do is just lift up the glaive slightly to slide him down a little bit.
I just realised that I needed to do a balance check for him because he had vertigo, so he failed that anyway. So as he stumbled forward, he fell from the vertigo. So you just go BAM as he falls forward. Oh, it's perfect. Skewered like a pig. Okay.
Spit roasted, Michael.
I knew you were going to say that. I was waiting. I was like, they're going to say spit roast, aren't they?
Sometimes you seem like the most mature of all of us, Dom, and then sometimes that thin veneer is just...
it's all an illusion.
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yes. Well, he is slain, and as you, with a single flick of your glaive, he tumbles into the pits, for his vertigo casts him even in death into the waters.
Yes, it's the brimstone helps propel him.
Yes, very good. That was him, and now this one goes and is going to try and follow up on that attack. He also comes within 5 feet of you, but I imagine
can only get 2 attacks opportunity.
Gonna say
My dex isn't that good.
like, who are you? Like, Sayrak? Is that you?
23.
How do you defend yourself as it comes in with a gore, but you defend yourself, Galaric?
Or he's already impaled the other one, kind of using that fires from the Nessus to just blow him off the glaive and into the pit, and then with the butt end of his weapon, swings it around and just knocks him off balance.
Okay, fantastic. And as we're back to the top of the round, you look on high and you see Hogwin go, now able to see once again.
He's not obliged to just go for me now.
And that's why he's running.
Oh.
Absolutely not.
He does that for 1 movement, and 5, 10, 15... Yeah, he's off. He's gone. He vanishes.
Oh my god.
Seeing the tide turn so quickly, vanishes into the rot root. Galaric, it's your turn.
Rob, you love a returning villain, don't you? Love your villains escaping. It's so fucking annoying.
Who's at the top of a cliff?
Galaric will take a 5-foot step then.
Yeah.
And this will come as a furious strike, as, again, those god beams seem to strike down.
Yeah.
As plus... It's that. Possibly a critical.
When I came over here, you were in much more trouble than you.
Just my glasses.
I was letting them on. I had given the illusion that they were failing.
It was all of it, yeah. Galaric has his own
21.
illusions.
I'm guessing that's just a hit.
Oh, yeah, that is just a hit. Yeah, if you haven't worked out by now, their armor class is 22. That is sadly just a hit.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I'll do the second attack as well. Da-da-da. Doesn't have the bonus on it, so it's just a miss. That's okay.
Just the one strike then against him.
1d8 plus 1d6. I'm scaling my dice down with each attack. I've got a d10, a d8, and a d6. For 25 points of damage. That's hell and heaven strike down upon it.
He lives. As your power strikes him from on high and from below, he still remains, and shrieking at the top of his hoggish voice, he limps on into battle, continuing. Galaric, that is your turn, unless you have anything else up your sleeve.
No, that's it.
Okay, we now move to this climactic duel on the far side of the field.
I can't help but feel like it's being scored by Benny Hill. And stop there, otherwise you won't be put on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Swings.
3 seconds.
He's going to desperately try and swing for you.
He's got to stand up first.
Of course he does.
Actually, he doesn't.
No, he does. You absolutely do. He would have done that. So yes, he provokes an attack of opportunity.
Not going to do a power attack this time because I'm sick of missing. Oh!
You wouldn't have missed.
I wouldn't have missed. No, if I'd have done the normal power attack, I wouldn't have missed. God damn it!
Of course.
Wait, that was your roll? So yes, your attack of opportunity lands.
That was my attack of opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is.
He's been tripped a lot. He hasn't actually been hit yet. So just covered in mud.
26. Oh, some damage.
It's a savage strike. You just slam your axe, Bluvar, into his shoulder. But he remains, and in a vicious retaliation, swings up at you. You have a choice. Do you want me to keep the roll that I did illegally before you took your attack opportunity?
No,
or would you like me to re-roll?
No, keep it. Roll. I don't mind.
Okay. That is a miss! He swung wildly at you, but you smack him and then you block him somehow. How do you block him?
I think he goes to strike me as he's standing, and I block him by hitting him.
Bam! Yeah, nice.
Literally, I've done him enough damage, and he's gone like this, and I've just gone with the axe into his kind of striking shoulder arm, and it's just stopped him. And he's just addressing the wound.
And as he staggers, our vision moves to the other side of the gulch, and we see it is now Pop's turn. Or do we see him? He's still invisible. What do you do?
Pop will take out his wand
and
delay until the end of the turn. Because I don't want to waste my shot if these two are going to finish them off.
Hiding between the legs of Ergeist.
Oh, I thought we were going to get a bit of pop slop.
Pop slop, yeah. Are you sure
I'll
we don't
happily
want
slop, but I want to give him the chance.
Okay, alright.
Fair enough.
So Pop, you draw and wait. Like getting your iron sights lined up. Please, it is now your turn. You struck
I'm not going to trip him. I'm just going to go for two normal, but they're going to be power attacks still because I want to take him out.
Yeah.
But let's go with a 4-point power attack. We'll just have that extra 1 point.
Okay.
So attack number 1. 22.
Misses.
Which is his armor class, so it doesn't quite hit him. Gosh darn it.
Points his wand in that direction.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. I wouldn't mind. I'm used to it.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
It'd be nice coming from someone else for a change.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of what my... Hang on.
It'll be that -6 for your second attack.
Yeah.
5.
No,
Yep, that's the one.
22 again.
Oh my god.
It's like the savage like struggle. Fight for your life, please.
Oh my
as
God,
this thing is
this is
desperately
my
trying to
nemesis.
get to you, and you're swinging this axe wildly. One obviously got him earlier, but still,
He's just sidestepping
such
everything
a
I've
wily
got.
creature. Okay, that was Fleece's turn. It is now this werebore, who once again has to move towards you to hit you. So
Yes, he does.
provokes an attack of opportunity. Savage little feature you've got.
The sloppy wand wavers towards this one.
Which one shall I shoot?
I already did that, so this is just straight up normal. 24.
24 is a hit.
The wand points away.
And I've already used that, so it's just 10 points of damage.
It lunges at you once again, and you're ready for the killing strike. What does it look like?
Oh, so as he goes down, Galaric sort of leans it forward, but braces it with his foot. And then as he charges, Galaric sort of kicks it up as it passes through his hands. And just douche darts through the neck. Worked the first time. Go again for the neck.
And he slides down the weapon before he is still. Very good. End of the round. Pop, your ready to action triggers if you want.
Yep, 2 blasts go towards the web.
Just start blasting. Let's go.
I don't think it's going to be enough, if that's any consolation.
I think it might.
Got 5 points of damage, I doubt it. As Pop fires 2 blasts across
Should
the
be
lagoon.
enough, just for storytelling.
Well, no. Honestly, and this isn't me. This isn't me being. Oh, this is really funny. Pop, how do you kill him by 1? As he had 26, and his max HP was 30. So, pop.
Yeah, so Pop's initial instinct was to shoot the one that Galaric was razzling with, but then Galaric kills that one, so he turns and looks between the legs of Ergeis and sees Fleece struggling to finish off this fucking werebore. And he's just pew pew, and the shots just like fly across, like circling around each other, hit the werebore in the back just as he lunges forwards at Fleece.
And it just falls dead at your feet, Fleece. And we'll have Fleece's reaction as the battle comes to an end.
Guys, how did you do that?
Pop would reappear on firing, of course.
I said I wanted Fleece's reaction as the battle ends.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I want to highlight this embarrassment, please.
I think he just sort of looked at it and he's not quite sure, like, what happened.
Yeah.
It's like it just fell down, but I was trying to hit. I missed so many times and then suddenly it just died. It's like a glitch. Something is wrong. He looks across and he... Pop! Was this your magic? Did you do this?
Don't know what you're talking about. That was all you. All you, bro. All you.
No, it definitely was not. I think this one was sick.
Well, they're all sick.
But this one must have been really ill. It just died.
Where did the other one go? Hodwin.
No, it ran off into the woods over there.
Galaric kind of leading Ergeis around. Fleece, is that a cut you've got there?
No. No, I snagged it on the bushes earlier.
What was...
That's motive.
You do sense motive if you want. Yeah.
I mean, he's not
Yeah.
actually. No, he's not trying to lie. He can't lie. He's terrible at it. Also, he wouldn't. He kind of goes, no. It got me with its tusk.
Then allow me just to treat it for you. Come here. Come here.
But I do believe that I am fine.
What are you on?
I am fairly hardy against this sort of thing. What am I on? Oh, it is fine. I did not get hit for very much.
Well,
only
I don't
took
want
one
to
hit.
use-
It was nasty, but it was.
I don't want to use all of my lay on hands charges unless.
Oh, I got hit for 12 hit points.
I use all of my lay on hands charges then for 6. I can't
Really?
fully.
Wow.
You
heal
can't
it.
heal much.
Hey, I stopped in Paladin, so it's not going to get any better.
Hey, thanks. Thanks for that. Means if next time I sleep, I'll be back to full. So I don't have to use a potion. It's very handy.
It's a bit of something, but
No, it is very helpful. Thank you very much.
Please also, when you are ready, give me a spot check.
I just thought you were going to try and chop my leg off or something to stop the spread.
the thought did cross my mind.
Going to go full Walking Dead. Spot check.
Natural 20.
17.
11.
Natural. Oh goodness me, Pop!
For
You
30.
spot that there is something sparkling, and it is sort of sparkling from this gap in the rock here, as if something's fallen in there. It will require some kind of climb or flight to get to
Oh.
it.
Fleece. I hear you're good at climbing. Or was that swimming?
No,
No, you're good at climbing from the
I'm
mountain.
good at both. Fleece will climb up the side of this.
Yeah, it goes a climb
As
roll.
you do that.
What do you require of me?
A climb roll, please.
A roll for climb.
You don't want to tell me a DC, that's fine.
Oh,
35.
no, I
Natural
don't need
20.
to, do I? No, you're.
You walk
It's just-
vertically.
Like he's the little girl from The Exorcist. He does it backwards.
Oh God!
Oh, I don't think he's well.
Everyone is uncomfortable.
Felice, you get to the top and you see that the sparkling is coming from a particular item. There is a pair of pristine-looking boots. They look very fetching, a sleek black material, and the shine comes from 2 silver buckles that shows that this item can expand to whatever size category the creature might be. They appear to be magical of some kind, but a check is required to determine what power can be found within.
He will take them and climb back down.
Yep, you
Good
take them and climb
climbing,
back down.
Felice.
Yep.
You weren't joking
You,
when you suggested you were a good climber.
Maybe not The Exorcist. Maybe a little bit more sexy. Like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 2. Let's
Oh yeah, with the hair.
let's try and
yeah,
sex it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I was thinking
With the hair and
grunge
the
going down the
horrendous,
stairs.
the horrendous acid scars that he's got on every body. And he'll bring the boots over, give them to Pop. I found these
Do we have- yeah.
interesting pair of boots. However, they are sort of suspicious, and I found them randomly in what appears to be a horribly enchanted wood. So perhaps not. Just try them on, no?
So you can just try them on if you want. You can also do either an appraise or a knowledge arcana check to determine the power of these.
Pop, I
I'll
believe
try
this is
a
these
knowledge
boots.
arcana. Which I have put a couple of skill points in, so 20.
You've heard tell of boots of such make. They are rare indeed. These are magically enhanced to make you quicker to react. These are boots of agility, +2 on reflex saving throws.
Ooh. Felice, this is quite a find, you see. Upon wearing these boots, which will expand or reduce
Oh.
to any size, the wearer will find that they are far more dexterous when reacting to certain outside elements. For example,
a fireball might be easier to dodge.
Or like perhaps something like a terrible dragon's acid breath.
For example,
Yeah.
a terrible
Just
dragon's
off
acid
the top
breath.
of
That
my
would be
head,
a
that's why it
perfect.
is in my brain. Who is in need of these the most?
I'm quite
Who has the lowest reflex save?
My reflex is 7, so
My reflex is 3.
Mine is 5.
maybe Fleece should have it.
Dibs.
Yeah, when you said the acid, Pop will glance at your acid scarred face and just.
Yeah, I think on his neck and kind of down this way, he's got some like blatant acid scarring. It's blatantly, but it's obviously magically healed. But like, you can clearly see where it happened.
I like the idea. If you go down, we can determine like a scar that you keep from that experience or something. I like
Sure.
that. I like that touch, Matt. That's good. That's a good thing.
Absolutely.
It seems like these boots have fallen from the satchel that Hodwin was rummaging in. So he may still have other prizes up on his person, but he appears to have vanished into the rot route for the time.
If any of us were any good at tracking, we'd be on that. But I don't think any of us are.
Alas.
Certainly not into the rot route.
Yes.
But you should be pleased, Fleece. We've slain 5 more cursed and diseased creatures. You said that you were on a little bit of a vowed mission. Were you not to remove something like that? You didn't go into too much detail.
My vow is more specific about. Oh, I'm Italian now.
Mamma mia! My vow. It's more to do with spaghetti.
Fleece is on a fucking tour of the world. Oh, now I'm afraid to do it in case I slip again.
You'll be fine.
He'll be Welsh any minute.
Inevitably, it comes back to Wales.
Is a little more specific than this because it is in reference to my village. Not my village, my homestead, my what did I call it in my why has my brain gone blank?
I'll find it. You can continue whilst I find it.
Yeah. My home in the mountains, I live with obviously where I come from, it is all frost giants. My family are all frost giants, and my home is overcome with a disease of sorts that we are unable to find the origins for. It is making my people very sick, and although they are hardy people, it takes a long time for them to be taken out by this disease. Starcrest. My home is Starcrest. It is one of the oldest vestiges of the frost giants in the land. Because of my stature in comparison to my brethren, I have been sent out to try to find help for my people. And I took a vow to eradicate this disease. And I believe that my vow sort of encompasses all disease types. It is personal for me because I have this horrible ailment of sorts, whether it is magical in nature or we do not know. We cannot decipher where it is from. But it is personal for me because it is set to wipe out my people completely. And so I am on a mission to seek help, to find aid. And obviously it is not an easy one because people do not generally look kindly upon frost giants. I am probably the best ambassador for my people, but it is not a wide pool to choose from. So yes, it is not the exact wording of my vow to eradicate all disease, but it is a part of the vow that I took, and I have a personal dislike of things that are of this nature.
Well, I'm terribly sorry to hear that, It sounds like an awful affliction. If there's anything that I can do to help, perhaps I can find someone who may know a knowledgeable person, or be able to find out a knowledgeable person who may be in a position to help or advise.
Indeed. This is a possibility. You are a very learned friend, and I believe that we are always making new connections and new friends along the way. And my people, as I said, they are hardy. They have time. They do have time. But it is not forever. And although I always seek to do what is right and good and help where I can, this is my ultimate goal.
Oh, we will do what we can to help you with this.
That means a lot, my friends.
Can I ask very quickly, Pop and Galaric, what languages you speak?
Yeah. Common and Infernal.
Common, Gnomish, Elven, Dwarven, Celestial, Draconic, and Infernal.
Good
okay,
Lord.
So neither of you speak Giant. That's interesting. Okay.
The language that Fleece speaks is a very sort of specific version of Giant. Given that he's from the mountains, I based it in the wording that I've used on some of his items and things that he's got on a couple of different Nordic languages, given the sort of style.
Cool. Well, maybe you'll learn what the significance of the names are at some point, because I think that it's a good effort from you, Matt, that there are meanings to these names. But I wanted to see if they would pick up on the meaning of those names, but not yet. But maybe they will, unless you share that. But
the meaning of his own, yeah, absolutely.
But you don't have to. I was just wondering if they spoke, because if they could then put two and two together. But yeah. Well, maybe another time.
We're going to come up in due course, I think.
Yeah. So the area appears to be secure, at least for the time being. Is there anything further you wish to do whilst you're here? Oh, and Pop, you can give me a knowledge. Is it a knowledge? No, I think it would be a heal. Yeah, it's a heal. So Galaric and Pop, or Fleece, you can give me a heal check.
I don't have ranks in it. It's okay to use untrained.
I believe so. Yeah.
You can, yeah.
Yeah.
I would literally be +1, so as would Galaric.
Mine is +0. 16.
That's great.
Always worth going 4.
Pop, you look at the cut that Fleece has received, and it does not appear to have been enough for the curse to take hold. It seems that Fleece was able to resist. You're confident to say that you were able to avoid getting lycanthropy. There is a set DC for lycanthropy. It is 15. I don't mind saying to you. Matt rolled 17, so it was close. So when he did that, I was like, that is a game changer, literally. In many ways. Okay. Anything else you want to do whilst you're here?
I think
we could search the immediate vicinity, couldn't we? Just
to see. Obviously, they are lingering here. They were residing here for some reason, so maybe we can see if they had anything else.
There's some interesting bones.
Okay. Well, you can give me a search check or a survival check, whichever you prefer.
That's still a 4.
Perfect search.
I am not good at this.
I'm pretty good.
No point. Can't ever be that.
Okay. Pop, you begin following a trail that you confidently believe that that Hogwin has taken. You are also confident that this leads deep into the heart of the Rockroot. You look and see that the path that he's followed is completely overshadowed by trees and darkness. You know the direction he's gone, but to do so would be to go into the heart of the place you have long avoided. What do you do?
Following this little path a little ways until it gets to the overgrown bit, Pop will turn to the others and say, I believe I can follow the tracks. They're not particularly well hidden should we wish to pursue this beleaguered deserter. But we did say we didn't want to go in to be...
I am not very interested in fighting against mysterious forest fae, but of course I will go with the will of the group.
As much as I think we need to eradicate the disease, I think it has to come second to the greater issues at hand. And perhaps if we have the time, then we can fall back here and give some time once we know what to do with the horizon lens. But until we have that, I don't think we can waste any more time.
I think that we need to continue upon our journey.
My thoughts exactly. Horizon
Boys, I'm
lens.
really sorry I have to disappear for 30 seconds. I'll be right back as quick as I can.
Enjoy your weed, please. Oh, he's not. Oh, that's more than that. Oh, dear.
Pop, as you agree with your comrades that it would be best to continue on your chosen path rather than making this diversion to find the werebore, you go to turn and you have the very real sensation. You are certain that something is looking at you through that darkness that you decided not to go down.
Do I have a feeling if it's the hog or something?
You won't need to roll. You know it's not Hogwin. You can sense that there is a presence that is watching you from that position as you depart.
Very tempted to talk to it. Pop will, as he turns, he will look back slightly and just say, I do know you're there.
Are you okay, Pop?
Something is hoping to toy with us, I think, Galeric. Something from the Rotten pursues us.
Well, I shall take your word for it.
I'll give it one more chance to leave.
And by that, what do you mean exactly? You're just going to wait there and see if anything happens? Or what do you...
I want to just... Yeah, I'll wait to see if I can feel it. Move away. Or stop watching us at least if I've got that sort of feeling of it.
You can tell that it isn't going anywhere. This presence seems like it is part of the darkness that you're looking into. You can't tell whether it's the sight of moving branches or a bit of light coming through the trees. You can't help but feel that there are eyes looking at you from a raised position. And it doesn't move. It's just watching.
Okay. If it's within 100 feet, I can reach out telepathically and talk to it.
Okay. And you just do that.
Yes.
Okay. So you reach out telepathically and you feel that you have connected with something.
Pop will, telepathically say, "What do you want?"
In your mind's eye, you see a vision, and there is a long pause before a voice comes in answer. And as we're doing this telepathically, only you will see that image in your mind's eye.
Oh, God. Pop visibly recoils.
You see the ghastly image before you. And as I mentioned, there are eyes.
Mm.
And what was your question exactly?
What do you want?
The voice returns to you, and the voice can only be described as a cold wind moving through a dead forest. And the voice says, "I want to know what you are."
We're just people passing through. We don't mean harm, but we're not helpless.
Do you bring gifts? The voice says.
What sort of gifts?
There are others that came before. They came with promises. They came with gifts. And in return, they may move through our lands as guests, honored. Should we be honored by your presence?
That depends how you receive guests who are honored.
I sense there are many gifts that you could leave us. We yearn for secrets. And you, we feel, have many.
Pop will cut off contact and walk away. We're not going in there.
Okay. You okay, Pop? You seem a bit flustered.
No, it's fine. It's just... It's not good in there.
Is there a vein throbbing on your forehead, Pop?
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about. Everything's fine.
You do seem to have gone a little bit pale.
Have you got a headache, Pop?
Almost green, actually.
There's
You know
something
what?
in there.
What about some rations? I always find if I'm feeling a bit worse for I'm a bit hungry. What about one of my rations, eh? From my jar of infinite rations.
Look, I don't want anything that you would have given to her, guys.
All right.
Oh, I have this as well, guys. He feasts the same as us.
Yeah, I've seen what he feasts on. Look, the rot root appears to be alive, and it, let's say it would happily welcome us and let us pass through in exchange for secrets. I feel like you two are open books, and I don't have any secrets that, well, probably anything I know should stay where it is. So I think we should carry on away from the rot root and not talk to it again.
Yes, I think this is probably a very good idea.
Yes, I would agree.
Let us hurry. Yes, let us go.
But we shall consider the werebore, this Hodwin, after we've dealt with the Horizon Lens.
Yes, definitely. Except out of game, I know full well he's going to come back as some sort of Hogwin Prime. Hogwin Prime with extra god powers. I return.
Matt, where did you get my notes? What? Once again, I keep forgetting. I mean, when we had the last campaign with the strangers, I had that S to show where you are on the map, and I keep forgetting to do that for this one. I will do that. So at this time, that was the end of the third day? Second day, I think.
It's the second day.
Second day. You have 2 days to go before you find the Horizon Lens Observatory. Do you want to rest now? I suppose that was the end, coming towards the end of that day, so you would be able to rest and then move on. Up to you.
I don't mind either way. I can happily move on. I didn't expect too much resource.
I can continue.
Well, let's get as far as we can, and then
Okay.
see that.
As I've already done your encounter for the day, then you push, so you'll have more time at the end of your journey. So you actually make up some time here, ignoring the path that leads you deeper into the rot route. You instead go back on where you were and keep following the river. Very good. You get to the end of that day, and we will roll assuming that you have the same watch. Can one of you roll a D3, please? 1 Pop, 2 Fleece, 3 Galaric.
3 Galaric.
Galaric, can you give me a spot check, please?
Nope. To be fair, it's probably as best as you can do.
Galaric, in the middle of the night, you're on last watch. Galaric, you succeeded on your spot check. And once again, there is a figure that is standing just out of clear view. They're very tall and have very long arms that reach lower than where their knees are, really, really long arms. And it's just standing in the distance, just watching you, Galaric.
Is that what Pop saw? Galaric's going to reach down to Pop Pop, who I can imagine is sleeping, even though his eyes are closed, just very tense. Little one, psst. Pop. I'm sorry to wake you.
You will be.
What's that? I'll point to the figure.
Pop will look.
Pop, you look and you see that there is this strange silhouetted figure in the half distance, just staring at you.
Is that the thing you saw earlier?
I don't know what to tell you, Galaric.
You
Maybe.
don't think it is Pop, actually. You don't think it's specifically what you saw earlier.
Okay, so the thing that was following us and the thing that I contacted are
separate.
different.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. However, that is something that has been following us. There's obviously multiple things in there. Would you like me to terrify myself?
You go back.
Contact it?
Do you want me to go over and deal with it?
No. Because if you go over there and deal with it, I'll have to come over there and help you.
Oh, I can wake up Fleece. And I do feel sorry for. I need to take the split shift off him one day. It's an awful.
Do I know anything about fey creatures?
That's a great question. I imagine they'd be knowledge nature. So if you have a knowledge nature roll, you can give me a knowledge nature roll.
It would just be flat intelligence.
Okay. Well, you can give me an intelligence check, guys, if you want. That's fine. You might have heard something.
20.
Wow. Well, never mind. Yeah, you do know about fey creatures. You know that the fey are, of course, intimately connected with this land. They were once benevolent in their ways. At least in this area, you know that there was a harmony that once existed between the Fae and all things connected to nature. Though once corruption started spreading across Main Realm, and that corruption took the form of different races and different conflicts that then exploded into misuse of magic and all sorts of things, the Fae then turned hostile. There is a saying about Faereld, which is it's known as the law of the land, and that means that the land will only accept things that belong within it. And you can't help but feel that if the Fae decided to become very extreme in their methods, they would not think anything belonged in their land but they and those connected to it, completely shunning outsiders in all ways. This also extended to things like structures and cities, that anything built not incorporating the nature around it would be said to collapse and be destroyed immediately, or things would go terribly wrong if it didn't adhere to this law of the land. And you think that it rules in some form to this day, upheld by these mysterious creatures in the mists.
You can kind of understand it a little bit in this situation, though, can't you? Given what the other species have done to this land, the Fae are sort of within their rights to be like, no, piss off.
So Pop will explain. On my way into the area, I did a little bit of research, as you do, and discovered a little, in some of my readings, the Fae of this area. You might say corrupted, you might say have turned on the dwellers of this land, and explain about the law of the land. But the important thing to remember, Galaric, is it is the law of the land. As long as we don't enter their land, they're probably not going to come to us. If we enter them, then they can interact with us, and they will tend to exert their will.
Their will is mighty.
Okay. Well, in that case, go back to bed, Pop. I'm impressed you gave me that lecture when you're half asleep. You go back to sleep.
I'm always ready to give a lecture, you know.
Maybe the lecture was done half in his sleep. He fell asleep.
Probably
just
already
carried on in
fallen.
sleep.
Galaric, you look back at the figure that's still there. And one of its long arms rise up and just point at you.
Galaric, because Galaric's not armoured at this point. He's charred, red skin and all. And he's just like hands up, like nothing in my hands. He'd probably even say, nothing in my hands.
The creature
I'll stay
then,
here.
watching you do that, the creature almost seemingly kind of mirrors you. And then it opens its palms wide and it appears to look up. There is a...
Galaric will look up.
There is a roll of thunder. And it begins to rain. And as the rain begins to fall, I need you to make a survival check, all of you.
Crap. Maybe it was trying to warn us. I got to do survival.
Even at this,
I mean,
they're asleep or gone back to sleep.
Well,
oh, true, yeah. Well, it's
being rained on.
yeah,
so.
yeah. You're about to be rained on. If you didn't wake Fleece, it's just Pop and Galaric. So Fleece, I'm sorry, you don't actually get one. So Pop, Galaric.
It's actually 5.
Oh, sorry, that should have been 15. I don't have any bonus.
Pop, you're able to find some coverage from the rain, but unfortunately for Galaric and Fleece, it is too late. Can you both roll a fortitude saving throw, please?
Honestly.
No, I'm so sorry, not a fortitude saving throw. Can you each roll a d10 for me, please?
That's a 7 from me.
4.
Galaric, you are horrified as you take...
I thought you were going to say horrified was a condition for a second.
You are horrified.
You just literally look like, from now on, just shocked face.
It's because I've read a book and being horrified is a specific thing.
So you are quite lucky in the sense that I roll lots of ones.
That are true, yeah.
You take 12 points of cold damage and you are now exhausted as the spell rain begins to fall upon you. Horrifying magical droplets come soaring down out of the sky and exhaust you. That means that you are now on half speed and you take a -6 penalty to strength and dexterity.
I just woke up.
Fleece, you rolled a
7.
1. That's right. 1 is up. 2 is down. Roll a d2.
Two.
1 is up. 2 is down. Please roll a d4.
Okay. 3.
You shrink 3 size categories. Pop, you watch as the spell rain begins to fall. The mysterious entity is praising the rain as it begins to fall. Galaric becomes frozen, gripped in a powerful ice exhaustion, and Fleece begins to shrink 3 size categories.
You just hear Pop yelling, I told you not to interact with it!
And as the spell rain falls, that is where we're going to end our session tonight.
Fuck's sake. That's ridiculous.
Oh,
Like, what?
Oh my god.
Galaric, you are huge!
we're so medium, small,
Small, tiny.
Tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
diminutive, or fine? Because you were medium, so you've gone small, tiny, fine, or diminutive.
One of those two.
Diminutive,
We'll
I
look
think,
it up,
is
yeah.
the next one. Yeah,
But
well,
it's,
yeah,
it's small.
It's very small.
The size of a tiny, tiny fairy.
So, we come to the end of the session. It was a bit of a mixed bag. The journeys are often trials in their own right. We're going to quickly just go, as we always do, ask our thoughts at the end of the game. And I think today we should start with Dom. What are your thoughts at the end of this session?
Yes, that was a lot of fun. I enjoy the sessions where we just get to trance people sometimes.
Yep.
But also, it gave us a lot of role playing fun, and yeah, I enjoyed interacting with the rock route as well, although terrible though it might be. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun, a lot of role playing interaction, which, when it works nicely, it's really satisfying, isn't it? It just seemed to click quite well.
Definitely, yeah. I'm glad you spoke to him, or it rather. Him's inaccurate. You spoke to the rot root, and
Yeah.
I think maybe we'll find out more about that one day. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. Matt, what are your thoughts in the session?
Super creepy at the end, though.
Yeah.
Creepy. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. The combat wasn't exactly. It didn't exactly go smoothly for Fleece, but like, I don't mind that. I don't mind, missing and cocking up. It's funny. I managed to knock him down and then miss.
Yeah.
Knock him down again and then miss.
Slithery
miss.
pig.
For goodness sake. Is my new nemesis. I enjoyed that. Fleece got to kind of give a little bit of his story,
Yes.
but obviously not. He didn't really give his story in a sort of very clear and because it was sort of just post combat. We weren't in camp and sat having a conversation, so it was just sort of the haze. But this had come up twice about the vow that he took about the disease and whatever. So he didn't want to just shrug you off again with a non-answer. So perhaps, like you were saying, Robert, some stuff about his name and his home might come up again in the future. But yeah, always love just sort of encounters and traveling, and I look forward to what comes next. And especially now that he's tiny or diminutive or whatever.
Diminutive.
He's a little boy.
He's a little teeny tiny piece.
Had a quick check.
Okay.
Diminutive.
Diminutive, yeah, super.
Although
teeny.
you're big diminutive because of your thing.
Yeah, so technically diminutive, but he counts as tiny.
Give me
Qualified
it.
tiny
Give me
still. Take that, Rob.
it. It's almost like a defensive thing. Well, I still act like I'm tiny, so. I'm super glad that you were able to talk about your character for a bit. Like I think we're quite good in the sense that we usually wait until it comes up in an organic way. I think we're quite good with that, to be fair. But
Yeah,
because of the nature of these characters and their position in this campaign, it's nice that we're learning a bit more about them. But yeah, I thought that was a lovely little moment, actually. Really, really nice. And at last, Michael, what are your thoughts at the end of the session?
Yeah, it was nice to see how all the characters have developed.
Yeah.
Tricks from everyone, skills, and as you were saying as well, just getting a chance to kind of just unleash on some enemies, which was nice. And yeah, some nice development from all the characters. It was good to get more from Fleece. Some curious developments from Pop. And yes, I'm intrigued about what's going to happen.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Thoroughly
We also
enjoyed.
really love creepiness. Anytime anything is creepy, I'm all
Oh yeah, that's my wheelhouse. I'm totally down with the thing. Galaric and his new powers were very
the heaven and hell.
yeah,
combos,
Oh yeah, that's so
Such
cool.
It's a
Yeah,
very cool kind of Devil May Cry kind of feel to what you're doing there.
yeah, it is, isn't it? That's a good shout. Absolutely. As always, a pleasure, and I really enjoyed that. And of course, if you watching this enjoyed that, if you like this video, give it a like. If you'd like to see more like it, then of course give us a subscribe. And as we always say at the end of Roll the Bones, burn them rolls.
Don't tell your mum.
Don't put your mom.
Don't tell your mum.